short time, I want to get to the trial itself. And this week there was, they introduced some DNA evidence. And now when you hear DNA evidence, you usually say, well, my God, that's it. But it turns out this is a very new type of DNA analysis that's never been introduced in court in Britain or Ireland before and is not actually scientifically accepted.
Well, that's correct. This is just a recent revelation of this Dr. Mark Perlin, I believe his name is, and he's from, I believe he's from Pittsburgh, over in the States. And funnily enough, that's his hometown, and I believe Pittsburgh's in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, is it?
Yes, that's right.
And I believe that Pennsylvania is the only state to accept his methods at present, which is a bit of a coincidence in itself. But saying that, you're correct to say that it hasn't been validated. That despite Dr. Mark Perlin's speeches and some of the conferences he's actually done, which he basically boosted this product up, and for purely financial reasons. It was actually disclosed during the court there that he's a 90% share stakeholder in Cybergenetics, the company who actually runs True Allele, which is the computerized system which deals with the DNA profile. So basically what you're seeing here is the use of this person here to, during a trial, to actually promote his product. He attempted to introduce it into Britain at one stage, and it was deemed inadmissible as evidence in a court. So we're hopeful that will be the case here, because Colin's defence barrister has challenged the nature of this evidence, and what he has said. He has spoken. Dr. Perlin has spoken for the last 3 days. He's been under cross-examination by the defence, and at the end of it, Colin's defence has asked that his evidence be deemed inadmissible in court. So it's correct to say that it hasn't been validated, and a lot of the validation that he has sought in relation to this product has yet to be completed. So what we have is a work in progress in terms of this system. Now, as Colin's barrister pointed out, it might be the best thing since sliced bread, but that is yet to be proved. And so the use of that just shows the length and to which they're trying to go in order to get a conviction against Colin in the case. But there's very important revelations which have already come about in relation to the trial. We have a British Army bomb expert, who was the first on the scene, who examined the footwell of the car where allegedly this tip of this latex glove was supposed to have been. And he has stated on the cross-examination in court, at no time did he see the tip of this glove in the footwell. There's actually 2 other photographers who have taken photographs of the footwell, shows various items sitting in the footwell of the car, and no photograph exists at that time of the tip of the glove in the car. So, there's all sorts of stuff that is going on in the trial. We've also, the DNA of a PSNI person who has been found on the handbrake of the car, despite him in his initial statements saying at no time did he ever enter the car. So you have all sorts of contamination issues. You have issues around, that the tip of the glove was not in the footwell when it was examined at the initial stage, and then all of a sudden it appeared 2 or 3 days later in the footwell, which begs all sorts of questions as to what's going on here.
Well, Paul, in a normal court, I'm sure none of this would stand up, but at the end of the day, this is a diplock court. It's a non-jury court in the north of Ireland, and unfortunately, very often these are courts designed just to railroad Republicans. So as I say, in a normal court, I'd be very optimistic. In a diplock court, you never know.
Well, that's it. That's true. And the family's well aware of it, and I believe Colin's aware of it, because he's been through this process before. And, he was asked, in fact, referred to a quote that I remember actually looking at a media footage when he was released after the 3.5 years that he spent in prison, being framed up by the British government. And he was asked, was he happy that he actually got justice? And Colin, in that interview, turned around and says, justice? How is it justice when I spent 3.5 years of my life in prison? We're talking about a system here which railroads people through in a conveyor belt system, which puts them on charges, holds them in jail, and, and just railroads them right through it, So that is not a true justice in any sense of the word.
Well, Paul, thank you very much. We really appreciate getting an update on that case, and please keep in touch with us because we want to follow this as closely